Unskilled South Africans are choosing to emigrate. They cite their frustration with corruption, ailing infrastructure and joblessness. And the pandemic hasn't slowed down the ambitions of those seeking greener pastures. If anything, the number of South Africans inquiring about countries abroad is growing. Joining me now is Chris Immelman from Pam Golding International. Chris, good morning. Tell us what you're seeing.
Morning, Jane. Thank you so much. Yes, we've definitely seen a little bit of a hardening of that attitude in the last 2 or 3 years. In fact, maybe 4 or 5 years now. People are looking at options and looking at where we can, elsewhere find jobs, find some work for our kids. The reality is, from where we sit, immigration is a play, but options is a much bigger play. People are saying they've worked hard, they've put their kids through good education, both tertiary education and then great universities in this country. And, the truth is, people love this country. It's one of the best in the world. But their kids need options because the future is not looking as good as it was maybe even a few years ago. And so people are saying, well, what else is out there? And we're happy to offer that.
Okay, so tell us more about the reasons for leaving. I believe it's across the racial spectrum, that truckers in the US are needed, that doctors are concerned about the public health system if it were all to kick off, and farmers are worried about their land.
Yeah, indeed, all of the above. We're more probably in the latter two. Farmers, we look after a lot of farmers wanting to saying that, well, they're just not sure about the new legislation that is being proposed, how that will affect them. And they're saying if we're going to put more capital into what we're already doing and invest more through our kids, through ourselves, we may need to look at it elsewhere. And to be able to do that, you need to make plans. People don't want to wake up in 3 or 4 or 5 years' time and I haven't made plans because it may be too late. And so people are saying, and I think COVID has given people time to reflect. They've said, well, what else is out there? What is it looking like? And let's investigate those. The United States is one that pops up all the time. Portugal has been fantastic for us. So people are saying we need to make plan B and give our kids options, more the kids than themselves, because people will tend to stay there.
You say that you help them. I mean, how do people find these opportunities? How do they know what's out there? And how much money do you need to leave? You can't just leave, and I mean, you've got to buy some sort of status there.
Indeed. Gone are the days like when we were younger, we went to Australia, you went to Canada, you went to pick grapes in France, you went to pick oranges in Spain, everybody went to the UK. You can't do that anymore, so you need a plan. And so we've made it our business to find out what are the shorter routes and the easier routes to get either a foreign residency or ultimately citizenship, because that gives you the full bouquet, if I can call it like that. So for entry level, you're looking at probably something like Portugal, 280,000 euros, which is not a small number, but it's a lot less than some of the other immigration programs or citizenship programs. That gets you into Portugal, gets you ultimately into Europe, and is a way for your kids to go and study there and get you into the job market in Europe. The United States, we've seen it's just increased their hurdle from 500,000 USD to 900,000 US dollars, which is a big number. But still people are saying, I'd rather do that, put some 900,000 US dollars into an entity where I'm actually going to get my money back. So it's pretty much an entry-level loan to the United States. It's all United States government-driven this, so it's all very, very, very regulated. Once I do that, I can then take my entire family to the United States and start a new life if I wanted to. Or my kids can go there, and I can still stay here. So there are options. The scale goes from 280,000 euros to $900,000 in the States to a place like Malta, where you have to donate 850,000 euros donation before you make an investment. So that's sort of the ultimate, the higher level. It's a lot quicker. It's often seen as the gold standard, but maybe a stretch for most South Africans with our weakening currency.
So I guess the best thing would be headhunted, right? And I should imagine under COVID, when people realized that they could work from home so effectively, that's also helped ease the pain of staying in a place when they can move and work anywhere.
Indeed. So again, people have reflected and saying, well, okay, so maybe I don't need to be in that office in downtown Johannesburg or downtown Cape Town. I can work from my home where I'm sitting here in the southern suburbs of Cape Town, or I can work from my beach house in Hermanus or Plett, whatever, or indeed I can work from somewhere else in the world. However, if my kids want to go to school, if my kids want to go to gain further education, if I'm concerned about crime and safety, those things are still there. And those things, the slow degradation of the infrastructure of the country is a concern.
Okay, let's end on a positive, if I can, and a brief one. People are coming back. Why are they coming back? Because we need that skill set.
Well, you just need to go and have a look in the promenade on a Sunday morning in Cape Town. There are thousands of people in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I mounted bike here in the mountains of Constantia. It's magnificent, Jane. So the grass is not always green on the other side. But here's the thing: you need options. If you don't have options, then you can't go and have a look, and you can't start your future elsewhere. You're locked in, and people are afraid of being locked in a slippery slope. It is the most beautiful country. I'm going nowhere, but maybe my kids will go somewhere, and I want to give them options.
Wouldn't it be great if the government made it irresistible for us to stay here without thinking of taking our skills or your skills anywhere else? Chris Immelman, thank you very much for that. Coming up.